everybody, I'm Sherkan Elsing from Enjoy the Gaming and welcome to the first annual Enjoy the Movies Awards. The award show where we celebrate the best movies of the year that came out in 2015. Now, I tried to watch as many movies as I could, but there are some exceptions. Some movies I did not see, everyone is talking about them, everyone is loving them, but I did not see movies like Spotlight, The Big Short, Concussion, The Danish Girl, Beasts of No Nation. I have not seen those movies. So if they're not on this list, that's probably because I haven't seen them. So don't complain in the comments below for some other movies. Probably I haven't seen them or probably I just didn't like them. These are my personal choices and I hope you enjoy them. Here we go. First category is Best Action Movie. Which movie has the best action sequences? Which movie had the most intense scenes? Which movie was the most fun to see everything blow up? The nominees for Best Action Movie are Avengers: Age of Ultron, Kingsman: The Secret Service, Mad Max: Fury Road, Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation, Star Wars Episode 7: The Force Awakens. And the winner is Mad Max Fury Road. George Miller directed after 30 years a new installment in the Mad Max franchise, and he made probably one of the best action movies of all time, with tons of practical effects, some really good use of CGI, a really gripping story and fantastic action sequences. There are amazing car chases, some nice shootouts while driving cars, gigantic and really colorful explosions, and it was just an amazing movie to see in theaters with the epic soundtrack in the background, just pumping everything up that was on screen, and I really loved it and everyone just wants to see another one of those. Well, we do love action thrills, we also love other kinds of thrills. Thrills that just get you inside and that make you scared. The nominees for Best Horror and Thriller Movie are Creep, Crimson Peak, It Follows, Krampus, The Gift. And the winner for Best Horror Thriller is Crimson Peak. This movie was just really well crafted. I'm a big fan of Guillermo del Toro, and this movie not only had some really good practical effects for the ghosts, but it also had fantastic visuals, a gigantic set, and a really interesting and violent story about love, about brothers and sisters, and it was just a really fun movie to watch. And another close second was It Follows. Even though I did not like the ending of that movie, I found it pretty bad and half-assed in my opinion. But still, it was also a pretty good movie if you like more of the 80s kind of horror movies, and it was pretty good as well. But let's go from something really dark to something a little bit more lighthearted. The best comedies of the year, the movies that made us laugh a lot. And it was pretty hard to choose which were the best comedy movies of the year, but I actually found 5 movies that made me laugh. The nominees for Best Comedy are Me and Earl and the Dying Girl, Spy, Ted 2, Trainwreck, What We Do in the Shadows. And the winner for Best Comedy is Trainwreck. I did not expect to actually really like this movie. I don't like romantic comedies, I really don't. But this movie was just special. I laughed probably throughout the entire movie, and it also had a really solid story in the background. It had some really interesting characters that were a little bit more three-dimensional instead of just one-dimensional characters, and it was a comedy that made me laugh quite a lot. Especially I really loved the John Cena scenes, as well as other scenes with Bill Hader. It was just a really damn funny movie. But also we really do love are actually great dramas. Movies that make you think about something, that stick with you after you finish watching them. The nominees for Best Drama are Bridge of Spies, Carol, Creed, Ex Machina, Sicario. And the best drama is Sicario. I love this movie. It was also my first ever movie review on this channel, And the movie was just special to me. It's just a really interesting story that really fascinates me. And this movie just gave me everything that I wanted from a movie about drugs, about war. And Denis Villeneuve did a fantastic job on this. Also, the photography is fantastic. Some of the action sequences are really well directed and really powerful. And I especially really loved the ending and the acting in this movie. And that's why it's the best drama in my opinion. And what a good movie also needs are some very good visual effects, just to suck you into the movie, just to make you actually believe what's in front of you. The nominees for best visual effects are Everest, Ex Machina, Mad Max Fury Road, Star Wars Episode 7 The Force Awakens, The Martian. And the winner for best visual effects is Mad Max Fury Road. As I've already said, the practical effects and the CGI are just unbelievable in this movie. Seeing these cars explode, seeing them jump in the air, seeing them blow up, seeing these actors in these cars actually doing some of the stunts. It was just a phenomenal experience that you have to witness. It's not mediocre, it's actually pretty damn great. And while visual effects have to suck you into the movie, the soundtrack is often the things that sticks with you after you finish watching the movie. Just hear a certain piece of music and you go, oh yeah, I remember that movie now. I remember that actual scene. The nominees for best soundtrack are Crimson Peak, Ex Machina, It Follows, Mad Max Fury Road, The Eightful Eight. And the winner for best soundtrack is Ennio Morricone for The Eightful Eight. I love Ennio Morricone, he's easily one of my favorite composers of all time. And The Eightful Eight was just a great return to form, but it's not actually a western soundtrack, it's more of a horror soundtrack. Some tracks were actually taken from the unused score that he made for The Thing, and there are actually some pieces, if I'm not mistaken, also from The Exorcist too. And it's just a really creepy soundtrack that sets the tone perfectly for the movie, especially if you saw the 3-hour-long version with the entire overture. Just tells you, yeah, this movie is not gonna be a fun time. It's actually going to be a more creepy and weird time. Now let's go to something a little bit more family friendly. The best animated movies. A best animated movie doesn't actually mean best movie for kids. It's just a certain type of filmmaking using animations. The nominees for best animated movie are Anomalisa, Inside Out, Shaun the Sheep, The Little Prince, The Peanuts movie. And the winner is actually a tie, because the best animated movies are Anomalisa and Inside Out. They are two very different movies, and I loved both of them. They're really fantastic. They touch some really interesting concepts, but one movie is more for adults, and one movie is more for kids. Even though everyone can appreciate Inside Out, Anomalisa is a bit more complicated to understand. But I do think that it's probably one of the best movies of the year, especially in the animated genre, but I also really love the Inside Out like many other people. So it's a tie. They're very different movies, but they both deserve to win. And now, let's get to the actors. Let's start with the best supporting actors in a movie. These actors, they weren't the main characters, but we still love them all the same, and they probably stole most of the show. The nominees for Best Supporting Actor are Benicio del Toro in Sicario, Sylvester Stallone in Creed, Michael Shannon in 99 Homes, Walton Goggins in The Hateful Eight, and Jacob Tremblay in Room. And the winner is Benicio del Toro in Sicario. Benicio del Toro has always been a really weird actor in my opinion, but Sicario is easily one of his best works of all time. His performance is just very subdued and very powerful, and you just look at him and you say, he's seen some serious shit. He has a dark past, and he gives a really strong performance, very powerful, and he was probably one of the best actors in the movie, and you really believed him, and there's a reason why they're making a spin-off movie based on his character. That's because he was really, really fantastic. Now let's get to the best supporting actresses, the women that stole the show in their movies. The nominees are Jennifer Jason Leigh in The Hateful Eight, Rebecca Ferguson in Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, Alicia Vikander in Ex Machina, Kristen Stewart in Clouds of Sils Maria, and Joan Allen in Room. And the winner for Best Supporting Actress is Alicia Vikander in Ex Machina. Alicia Vikander is probably one of the breakthrough stars of the year because she was in a lot of movies, in quite a lot of movies, and this performance was just brilliant to watch. Watching her playing Ava, this AI, this artificial intelligence, who really acts in some weird, sometimes actually creepy ways, just makes you say, what is she actually thinking, if she's thinking at all. And you have to watch the movie to actually understand why this is my favorite performance from these 5 actresses, but it's just really powerful, and watching the movie a second time actually changes the entire thing. It actually makes you say, oh, now I understand why she did some of those things. It's a very subtle performance and I really loved it. Now, the big ones, the best actors, the best male performers who just carried an entire movie on their shoulders, who gave fantastic performances, and who made everyone say, you, my man, are great. You are one of the best actors alive, and you deserve to win. The nominees for Best Actor are Leonardo DiCaprio in The Revenant, Samuel L. Jackson in The Hateful Eight, Matt Damon in The Martian, Michael Fassbender in Steve Jobs, and Bryan Cranston in Trumbo. And the winner for Best Actor is Leonardo DiCaprio in The Revenant. Simply knowing what happened behind the scenes, simply knowing what he did, and just watching is mesmerizing and really powerful, and the kind of scary performance just tells you this guy deserves to win pretty much every award that he's nominated for. He is one of the best actors alive today, and he really carried the entire movie on his shoulders. And he does deserve to win even an Oscar in my opinion. He's that great in the movie, and even if you don't really like The Revenant, you can't say that he was bad in it. It was just amazing. Now, the best actress. The best actresses that just gave some really powerful performances. Women aren't always that recognized in movies, but these 5 actresses gave just some really amazing performances in those movies that made you say, women deserve more consideration, and we need more female characters, especially well-written female characters in the movies. The nominees for Best Actress are Charlize Theron in Mad Max Fury Road, Brie Larson in Room, Rooney Mara in Carol, Saoirse Ronan in Brooklyn, and Charlotte Rampling in 45 Years. And the winner is Brie Larson in Room. another great actress that we're having today, who deserves to be in more movies, and she probably will be. She just gives a fantastic performance as the mother of this child who has lived a lot of years inside one single room. And it's a powerful performance, and saying anything more will spoil the movie, but you have to watch it to believe me. It's really powerful, and she's just fantastic, and I can't wait to see her in more movies. She was also in Trainwreck, and she was pretty great in there as well, so great job. And now, before we get to the final category, the most important category to some, let's take a look at the 10 worst movies of the year. And you can actually see this as my top 10, kind of. It's just in alphabetical order, like most of the entries in this list. But still, these 10 movies were just not all that good. Nope. The nominees for worst movie of 2015 are 50 Shades of Grey, Home, Sweet Hell, Hot Pursuit, Paranormal Activity, The Ghost Dimension, Paul Blart, Mall Cop 2, The Ridiculous Six, The Cobbler, The Human Centipede 3 Final Sequence, The Loft, and We Are Your Friends. These are all shitty movies, let's be honest, they are not great at all. But in my opinion, the worst movie out of all of those was The Ridiculous Six. Because Adam Sandler has just been fucking it up for quite a long time. The only good movies that he's made in recent years are the Hotel Transylvania ones, and that's just not really a good thing in my opinion. And Ridiculous Six, I actually saw the trailer and I went like, that might be decent, maybe I can get a couple of laughs out of it. And I got none. The movie was pretty offensive, was pretty stupid, and it was way too long. Probably around 80 minutes too long. But still, Ridiculous Six was horrible, and every other movie in this list was pretty terrible. But this one just made me feel sick. Even more sick than the Human Centipede 3 Final Sequence. Which is... don't watch them. Don't watch them. And now, the final category. The 10 best movies of the year. And you can actually see this again as the top 10 best movies of the year. But this is just my opinion. I've seen many movies. If a movie isn't on this list, and there were some nominees for this movie in the other lists, that's probably because I did like it, but I didn't love it as much as these other 10 movies. And it's pretty hard to choose which is the best movie of the year. But here are the 10 nominees. Crimson Peak, Ex Machina, Kingsman: The Secret Service, Mad Max: Fury Road, Me and Earth and the Dying Girl, Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation, Sicario, Star Wars Episode 7: The Force Awakens, The Hateful Eight, and The Revenant. And actually I don't want to say the winner right now, because I want to say, if I had to make a top 3, the bronze medal would go to Star Wars Episode 7: The Force Awakens. It's not the best movie of the year, but just watching it in the theater was just an amazing experience, and I had a big ass smile on my face the entire time, and I just loved watching this movie. It's not the best from a technical standpoint. If you're actually looking at the story, it's a repeat of Star Wars Episode 4, yada yada yada, everyone knows that. But it was still fun. That's why it gets the bronze medal. And then, the first two movies, it's pretty hard. I went back and forth on them and actually seen them both twice. And then I chose. The second best movie of the year is Sicario. I love this movie, it's really powerful, it's fantastic. It's just, even watching the second time, I still was sweating like hell in the last part of the movie, and I loved every performance in it. But the best movie of the year, the more I think about it, the more I'm actually really convinced, really sure, really positive that I made the right choice, in my opinion, is The Hateful Eight. I love Quentin Tarantino movies because every time I watch one of his movies and I go, it was a really good movie. And then I think about it, and then I watch it again, and I just fall in love with it. And the same thing happened with The Hateful Eight. It's just a fantastic movie in my opinion. It gave me everything that I wanted from a movie this year. It was funny, it was violent, it was dark, it had fantastic performances, it was set in the Wild West, which I always love. And it was easily my favorite movie of the year, and probably one of my favorite movies from Quentin Tarantino. So guys, these were my favorite movies, my favorite actors, my favorite everything from this year, from 2015. And it's been a pretty mixed year in my opinion, but there have been some really great movies, some great sequels, some great return to forms for some directors like Ridley Scott, they come back from Tarantino, and a really great year overall. But tell me guys in the comments below your favorite picks. Do you agree with some of my choices? Do you disagree? Probably disagree with the best movie. Not everyone liked The Hateful Eight, but I get it, it's not for everyone, but it just felt like it was made for me. But still guys, tell me in the comments below your favorite picks for every single category. Let's just have fun, let's just discuss, a little discussion about what we thought this year. Thanks as always for watching guys, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.